Man United is absolute cinema. When you think they can win, they can't win a high-stake match like against Liverpool or an informed Crystal Palace away from home, they against all odds came out a 3 points. But on the other hand, when they play against some of the bad teams, like really bad one, plus a situation who heavily favoured on their side, they fumble, bottle and downright can't be asked when needed. And it seems Man United often make 2 to 3 steps forward and then tumble straight back where they started. Along the way, a lot of the fans and pundits has highly skeptical of the ability for Ruben Amorim, as his tactics and unwillingness to make necessary adjustment make him far more frustrated than ever. Or besides, a report mentioned that Glazer have fed up with the Portuguese manager and may look for a new one. This comes a major question among fans: should we sack Amorim or let him continue and then review in the end of the season? So in this video, I'll be discussing why we should and should not stick with Amorim. Well, in case you didn't know, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marvin, codename. Welcome to the United channel once again. If you in any shape or form stumble to this channel and somehow some way on this kind of content, do please like, share and subscribe to this channel, as each of your potential subscription will be a massive motivation for me to upload new content. And don't forget to ring your notification bell for every new upload. With that said, let's get straight into the video. Let's start with the negative one. But Amorim's system and tactics. Long or topping, it will be discussed in many shows and punditry. A back 3 or the back 5 system has been a constant debate if this type of formation can survive in a direct and physical Premier League. While teams like Chelsea under both Conte and Tuchel favour a back 3 system, managed to win the Premier League or the Champions League, but they were the unicorn amongst most managers. As for Amorim, long knows his preference in the 4-2-1 system. As he mentioned, this formation brought his success before, and he made his name for himself, including the massive success during the Portugal League. Well, however, since the move to Manchester, this preference formation has come to question. To take note that why Chelsea takes a back 3 system with a massive success was reactive, given that the fact the squad they inherit at that time will carefully analyze the squad, conclude their best formation to get the most out of the team, also utilize a back 3 and the wing backs. As for Amorim, is more proactive, despite whether the squad team able to play his style and is still stick to his formation, has many players actually play on their uncomfortable position. For instance, Bruno Fernandes, a world-class attacking midfielder, plays in a double pivot as a central midfielder, while Amad Diallo, a typical tricky right winger, plays on the right wing back, and Masraoui, an attacking right back, plays on either the left centre back or the right wing back. Well, although some of the players like Amad do have a better performance in the new role, others was not the same, show a massive uncomfortable in their role, but they're scratching the surface. Amorim's biggest issue in his tactics was his stubbornness and inconsistent when it comes to player management, as he consistently stick to Bruno in his most unnatural position, despite having Man Utd a proper central midfielder in the team. Also, its obsession either the having Dalot and Ugarte, whom the latter is easily the worst player in squad. On all his tactics, Amorim, as another area got loads of criticism, was none other than his substitute during matches. Against the 10-man Everton a goal down, he opted for a defensive sub and had many head-scratching action. But furthermore, even though Man United this season has seen much more positive in terms of chance creation and the goal scoring, whereby have been a kryptonite for Man United, but most attacks were more of an individual brilliance than a surrounding tactics. The match against the Crystal Palace was the best example. In the first half, Man United was crap, like relegation team crap. But since the 40-minute mark under the Palace, the players out of the gas, Man United got gradually better, yet their goal was through set pieces, exerting 0.03 xG. But apart from the tactic and system, you can say the same for other managers like Mourinho team, like Toxic, Oli era all vibes no tactics, and Ten Hag no clue open style. But all of them at least deliver result perspective. Mourinho and Ten Hag have 2 titles each, but Oli had Man United enter the Europa League final and lose only to the penalty shootout. But for Amorim, while he did help Man United enter the Europa League final, but they still managed to lose to the worst Spurs team in years. Knowing what needed to help Man United moving forward, in coming to this season, Man United sitting on a 10th place, even having transferred in multiple Premier League proven uncertified striker into the squad, the team still do not really see much progress on gel into each other. Rubbing salt on the injury, all the context, Man United were without any midweek Champions League or Cup games due to losing to Grimsby in the Carabao Cup. Man United do expect to have a fresher leg and better condition, but in so many games, a lot of opponents looks far more aggressive and energetic when it comes to the game start. This easily can go both manager and players, with manager was the one responsible to motivate the players pour their all on the pitch, but the players sometimes can be too big to ask them to give in their heart out. But however, to give credit to some of the players like Bryan Mbeumo has shown amazing form, hitting the ground running with 6 goals into his account, making him the top scorer in the team, while Bruno Fernandes topped the league with 5 assists, show his consistency when it comes to output delivery. But another topic to speak, Man United or Amorim's inability to break down or low block teams. Man United often thrive in counter-attacking style that suit their run and gun, given the pace of Mbeumo, Sesko and even Cunha, plus the needle passing from Bruno and Casemiro. Hence their best performance came when opponents have more possession than them. Against Brighton and Liverpool, both teams has a preference with the ball on their side, thus gave Man United space to run in behind. Yet Man United, when it comes to playing, teams prefer to sit back and counter. Man United looked slow and hesitant. This was down to their uncomfort when attacking the middle of the pitch, with only a quarter of their attack focused on the middle, made them very dependent on the wings. While Man United has some of the best attackers on the wings, but their choice of tactics were even absurd. Sesko, a 6'4" striker with some of the most amazing bounce in the locker, you think Man United should put in more crosses into the box to feed him? Nope, they did not. Instead, they made more shooting than passing. Once Xerxes was introduced due to the injury for the Slovenian striker, Man United suddenly made crosses than ever. Makes sense if Amorim do the instruction to them. I spoke about the negative side, moving to the positive one. Well, Amorim and Man United undergoing the short-term pain for a longer success. Man United since the retirement of Fergie have been the lowest of the lowest, given that they undergo 6 different managers on the span of more than 10 years without sustaining success. But the reason behind them was the fact that Man United culture and structure within the club has been toxic and tumultuous. While Man United known has been a player power oriented, whereby the footballers obtain humongous wages but lack a consistency to providing on the pitch. But in fact, when criticized, they took another way out, having their agent or fanbase attack the person involved. This created the players have massive egos that won't be checked given the lack of senior players that embrace the United culture, like the former United players Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes. But in comes Amorim, whom considered quite a ruthless manager, immediately ruled Rashford and Garnacho, who both were Man United top talents, even star boys, unfit in the team and wanted them gone. Thus, they were subsequently loaned or sold to other clubs, where Amorim tried to reshape the club. This move had a similar path with Arsenal Arteta, where he made the same decision by having the fan favourite Mesut Ozil out of the club, together with top scorers Aubameyang and Lacazette out of the club due to their behind-the-scene attitude issues. This made Arteta face massive pressure from the fans and club, but at the same time, plus the result is average at best. However, Arsenal management chose to stick with the Spanish manager, and after 4 seasons go by, Arsenal went from a similar position with the current Man United to now a 3 straight season title contender, and at the same time became a tactic trendsetter for them. So for Man United, possibly taking a page from Arsenal may stick to Amorim and gradually little by little building Man United from internal. But furthermore, Amorim's system may or may not work is really dependent on the personnel of each position. Because Crystal Palace and Leeds both use a battery system to see some several level of success. Yet for the downside, Man United and Amorim progress has been a tough one to watch up and down. Left and right, you name all direction. What should me for Ruben Amorim, stay or to fire? I really don't know. Because we sack Amorim, the next manager will come and face the same issue. Maybe for us, it's just let it finish the whole season and make the final evaluation. But that's the end of the video. What do you guys think? How would you decide if Ruben Amorim status for Man United? What should he stay or should we fire? Or comment down below so we can have a discussion. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in the next one.